The reason why I made music in the first place, well, growing up, I didn't realize that you could teach yourself how to play music. I thought it was something that you were born into or that your family knew also, because the way that music was taught in school systems was actually really horrible. It made you not want to play music. It was like studying math or, very clinical. And if you didn't get the right note, you didn't play, things like that. So I was very discouraged about music growing up, although I loved music and I would sing along with everything on the radio all the time. I think everybody does, but I think I was pretty obsessive about it, and the time came where I just picked up, my sister had an acoustic guitar and I just picked it up and started to play songs because it was there and I could sing along and things like that. So it was just sort of like a natural progression. I played this really crappy guitar, and then I met another girl who played guitar too, and we actually had a gig. We got a gig playing on a Wednesday night, opening for somebody in a small club before we were a band or musicians, and because I had a few songs and she did, and it went well. And then we ended up playing every week. So I became a musician just by actually having to perform every week. Mm-hmm. But this was with acoustic guitar. So then I started to actively decide that I wanted to do this, but not with acoustic, but learn electric guitar. And then I learned, keyboards, or play drums really badly, but at least just trying it out.
Mm-hmm. So you didn't plan, you agree with that? Or?
I highly doubt he agrees with that, but I think let's start over on that one. Is the image more important than the music? I think if your image is really strong, then more people will hear your music. Mm-hmm. But I don't think the image is more important than the music.
But how far can it?
Well, it can get an image can grab attention, but you have to be able to back it up with the actual music. So hopefully you've got the goods to go along with your image. To me, it's even a bigger picture. It's not just about music. You have an image, you get attention, you can show your music, and then you can go further than that to make films or to produce a play production or to make installation art. So to me, music is also being a performance artist, and I do take playing and making the music seriously, but I think it's there's much more than just music.
Mm-hmm. So can you tell me the process, how to create?
Well, all different ways, really, but the best ones are usually the ones that come quick. I'll tell you that much. That you lay down a very simple something for you to work with, and then you, as long as you get a hook or some kind of line, either in a riff or a vocal line, then you want to continue. You need something to hold on to, or at least I do in that way. And if it comes quick, usually it's good, and then you can make it a song or a piece, whatever you want. But sometimes you agonize over it. So that old saying about takes many years to make an overnight success. So you may sit in your studio for days and weeks and years sometimes, making beats, trying to find right sounds, melodies, but then you go in one day and something comes up. Mm-hmm. So it's sort of for me, it can't be so calculated.
Mm-hmm. So are you always working on songs, or do you just write or have idea for a specific album?
Yeah, I usually write in when it's album time, because as I mentioned, I like to do so many other things. Mm-hmm. So, and also once I start to once I have the music all compiled for the specific album I'm working on, I'm very, very concerned also after that about the performance, and not just keeping it as one performance, but also introducing technological ideas or different tricks for stage and things like that. So I get very involved. So I probably make an album that takes around a year, and then I take 2 years to do the actual show, and then I learn more about the music too.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So I think, so what do you think, how hard it is to manage the artist Peaches?
How hard is it to manage? There's a lot to do. There's a lot to do. One week I'm in Korea doing an art installation, and I'm doing my own play production based on all my albums in an opera form. And then I'm deciding to do a full laser show. And then the next week I break my ankle and I'm doing shows in a wheelchair. But, you know, it's just constant ideas coming and I want to realize them.
Mm-hmm. I saw you gig at the Frequency Festival.
Oh, yeah.
This was funny. Are there any parts of your life which you keep completely separated from the management?
Of course. Yeah.
But not in your musical life as well.
How do you mean?
Your management ask you about your music as well, or do you make music and you tell the management, then the management say, oh well, this is not so good, or
no, I'm in control of the music and they back me up. Mm-hmm. You know.
Okay. Something like charts. Are charts relevant for you?
I'm sorry?
Charts.
The charts? Yeah. No, not for me. No.
But who cares about charts then, and what do you think who benefits of the charts?
All the companies that are just falling apart, that have to pick up the money that's moving away and putting it back into something so that they can continue this regurgitation of corporate music.
Okay. Are the big studios, let's say about right now you can record music easily at home, or you can pick it up on smartphones or on Apple computers. Are those big studios in 10 years obsolete?
They might be obsolete already pretty well, unless you want to use an orchestra, or there's a specific sound you want to get, then you might have to use a studio. They are amazing looking, like these old, especially 70s studios, these wood studios. I went to one recently in Melbourne, Australia, just with all the different rooms so that the sound doesn't bleed, and it just seemed like it was really exciting for people to make an album, and you know, more social.
Okay. So let's ever think when you're on stage about what the audience might be thinking of you now?
Do I think about what the audience is thinking about me? I probably shouldn't do that, and I don't do that because they're probably thinking a million different things. But it doesn't really matter. As long as they're confused, then I like it.
Mm-hmm. Cool. I think you started...
Yeah, that wasn't the first band I was in, but I was in a band called The Shit.
I read about some... Can you tell a little bit about the stage show at this time?
The stage show was it was me and Maki and Chili Gonzalez and another girl, Sticky, and we would just sing songs about wanting to sleep with each other and switch around instruments and try to get it into a form where we're aping, where we're not even actually playing or singing, but just making free noise and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. And I read about that you were sometimes arguing with the audience as well.
Sounds good. It's a good sign.
Yeah. Last question. Can you tell you as a musician, as an artist?
Success for me is if you fulfill what you want to achieve. Mm-hmm. That's all. And also to share it with other people.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Great.
Fine.